Hello, welcome to my new video where I'm going to showcase you battles from my last local tournament before the Europe International Championship. I wasn't planning on making this video, but I found this course so wicked that I just wanted to show you. It's obviously not really meta as usual, but it just played so smoothly. I'm going to show you. By the way, I will be casting the Europe International Championship. I'll put all the details below in the description when this stream is going to be. It's going to be a superstar lineup, and I can't wait for the show. So check that out next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is the team that I brought, and obviously the Gyarados stands out here. I'll get into the details of Gyarados soon, but for now I just want to say it's a very flexible Pokemon that has play in so many things that are not Lantern or Charjabug. I paired it with a Diggersby. The reason why I went for Diggersby, because I needed a ground type that not only punches Lantern, which obviously counts as Gyarados very hard. I also needed to punish the Charjabug very hard. And I find that people are not afraid of Whiscash with the Charjabug. So I went for Diggersby. And it also covers Lickitung better because Lickitung is quite good against my Cresselia, against my Skeledirge. And it would have been against Whiscash if I brought that instead. This is my first time bringing Skeledirge as well, I think. And you will see from these battles, like, by far, that Gyarados Skeledirge core is legit. It's like something regional worthy. Furthermore, I went with Cresselia and Lickitung to cover Whiscash, obviously to make Diggersby and Skeledirge more playable, and then Vigoroth I just liked a little bit more over Annihilate here for its Gligar matchup, because obviously I don't have a Gligar answer, but Vigoroth wins the Zero Shield, so Vigoroth just counters against Flyers a little bit better than Annihilate does. So to quickly talk about Gyarados, I want to compare it to the other water flying types, which are Pelipper and Mantine. Pelipper is a little bit less relevant now that Mantine has that buffed Air Ace and Water Pulse, but it's still pretty good. The thing is, though, these two Pokemon excel more in flying type coverage, while Gyarados outputs more damage in neutral ways. Imagine, like, against Skarmory and Registeel, those are matchups that Gyarados can win in the 2 shields, which is sometimes wild. Dragons, no problem for Gyarados, as long as you have shields. And that's basically why I wanted to try Gyarados out. I'm not a fan of Mantine because it's bulky and boring. Pelipper is great, just not in neutral matchups like Lickitung. So yeah, let's take a look at how Gyarados is going to do here. Is Tando, who has been having a rough streak in these local tournaments lately, but he's not giving up. And he cooked something else this time. He's using Guzzlord plus Feraligatr. Something I did expect somehow, you know, with Silent and Lumberger using that Guzzlord Feraligatr Skeledirge line. I kind of expect these Pokemon, which is also what's going to make Gyarados shine here, because it wins almost every 2 shields in this matchup. I think I lose Guzzlord in the 0 shields, but I feel super confident leading my Gyarados here and possibly RPS in the back. That's my first strategy here. So I lead my my Gyarados into the Guzzlord, in which case I should win anything but the 0 shields. I'm just going to farm this down, but you'll see this is where Gyarados kind of lacks in offensive coverage because you don't have the same type attack bonus on the Dragon Breaths. They don't do as much. You see that the Dragon Tails almost do as much. In fact, look at how low I am. But if he has what I think he has, which is like Whiscash and Feraligatr, I should be very fine here. So in comes Feraligatr, which I'm really not happy about because this with energy will even threaten my Lickitung. I'm gonna go for Crunch and go on Lickitung. And he actually gets the defense drop, which is huge for me, because this will kind of force him to switch out. He also has Moonblast on his Cresselia, so my Skeledirge entirely walls this. And now you'll see what my next strategy will be. At this point, I already see my win condition. Gonna go for a Body Slam. I'm almost at another one, but I'm not going to throw it. Don't mind the text, they're still not fixed. Very good. My plan here is to get as much energy as possible on the Skeledirge, because when I have a lot of energy there and I wall this Cresselia, I should be able to threaten the Feraligatr quite well. You should see I don't throw my charge stack, let him knock me out, Skeledirge comes in, Incinerators do a lot of damage, the Moonblast is resisted, so I'm very fine here. Don't have to shield this, obviously Hydro Cannon would do way more, which is reached extremely quick by the Feraligatr. Don't get an attack drop, fortunately. Now go for a Shadow Ball. I think even a Disarming Voice will put him in Incinerate down range. It doesn't really matter what I do here. He does call it, he knows his win condition. I'm not giving that to him. Gonna go for Disarming Voice, this will seal the deal for me. Skeledirge, pulling through here. If there's no Lantern, I think Gyarados and Skeledirge core is extremely good. Game number 2, I'm going to switch it up a bit, going with the Vigoroth this time, leading into the Whiscash, and I bring my core in the back this time. Again, Gyarados is just so safe that I kind of always want to bring it. I'm going to go for Body Slam here. I like this matchup a lot for the Vigoroth. You get to Body Slam here at the same time to get to Scald and Mud Bomb. They shield the first one, which is kind of annoying. I also do feel like my Skeledirge in the back might be quite good, but he could run some sort of ABA to what's it called, to Cresselia, right? With like Relegate in the back. Because Relegate has Shadow Claw, it doesn't do that bad against Cresselia. Gonna catch a Mud Bomb here, preserve my Vigorol's Body Slam for later. I'm one counter off a Body Slam, might be useful later. I do expect his Guzzlord in the back. In comes Cresselia, however, with his shield down. Here you will see that Gyarados cannot take a lot. I'm pretty sure you lose the 2 shields, just this thing going straight Grass Knot. Honestly, I haven't simmed it, so I don't know. But you see that put me solo already. And I have the same idea here. Whenever Cresselia locks itself in, I just want to get energy on Skeledars, bro. Knock me out, please. It's kind of low, though, which is kind of unfortunate. But I will get 2 Incinerates. Advantage here. Whatever's in the back, it's not going to like my Skeledars energy. I kind of want to shield this in case it is for Alligator, because I'm afraid to get Shadow Claw down or something. Get the attack drop, which is unfortunate. If Whiscash comes in, I'm going to go into the Vigoroth immediately, in which he throws a Scald. Very much not needed. Very interesting play. I'm just gonna let it go in with the Skeledars again, gonna farm it down entirely. Looking at my team sheet right now, I don't think there's anything that can beat me at this point, because even if it is for Alligator, I think I just get 2 Shadow Ball, and that plus instant would knock out. But it is the Guzzlord. I have Disarming Voice, double super effective. This is what makes Skeledars so good. That fire coverage, the fairy coverage, and the ghost coverage. This is like nothing else that has something like that. This will do about 80% damage. It won't knock out the Guzzlord just yet, but it's the reason why Skeledars wins all even shields against Guzzlord. And that is a good game, because I come out with another Disarming Voice, and this will knock out the Whiscash. And I win this matchup by 2-0. Gyarados was so good in breaking his team here. My next matchup is against Statan, who's also grinding those championship points for the Travel Awards. His team is quite interesting. He doesn't really have good Annihilate and Whiscash answers, which are about the most popular Pokemon in the Open Grey League. He does have Cresselia to cover both, but both with energy can also be annoying for Cresselia. Fortunately for Statan, I didn't bring either, and that makes his Skarmory quite difficult to counter. I also don't really have a Gligar answer. You'd think Gyarados wins that, but Gyarados loses about anything that just outpaces it. So Vigoroth, you lose the 0 shields and the 2 shields, because in the 2 shields it just outpaces to the Body Slam, and Gligar just outpaces to Aerial, so it's not great. I get a great lead here. I do a little bit of a, I try to give a little bit away that I'm super happy with this lead. Little does he know, I have an even better answer in the back. Diggersby is just there to soak up energy. I was just always going to play like shield advantage for Vigoroth maybe. With quick attack and fire punch, Vigoroth still does quite fine against Pokemon like Skarmory and Gligar, so I'm very fine there. He shields the first attack, which is super annoying, because this will allow Vigoroth to make the 2 shields very close. I believe if I want to get another future sight off here, I need to shield twice. So that's gonna suck, and I don't really have anything to farm this down with. I guess I have my own Vigoroth, but I will probably have to shield, because I need my full Vigoroth to take on this Gligar, basically. I'm gonna let it go, though. Hopefully I live this? I don't remember what my plan was here. I don't live that, though. Let's see. Yeah, gonna go in my Vigoroth. He throws a Body Slam here. Obviously, I have Diggersby and Vigoroth against Lickitung. So, yeah, he hard swaps immediately. He realizes, yeah, this is very bad for me. The Lickitung has nowhere to go. But this allows me to just throw this, swap into my Diggersby. Very smart shield from Statan, realizing, oh, this does the most damage. I gotta shield that. I don't have Hyper Beam. I needed Scourging Sands here for Lantern. Shielding up the Dig there wouldn't have done a lot of damage, but I guess I have to use shields at some point. Fire Punch comes through. You don't see a lot of... That doesn't do a lot of damage, but with the quick attacks adding up, the Fire Punch will almost knock it out here. So, I'm gonna go for another Fire Punch here. This will put the Gligar extremely low, almost to the point where it can't threaten my Vigoroth anymore. Yeah, I think Quick Attack just really helps making these Flying type matchups a little bit better. I mean, Flying type's not named Skarmory. It's an Aerial Ace here. He's trying to preserve the energy for my Vigoroth, but it's useless. My timer's almost up. I'm gonna throw a Scourging Sands, however, to weaken this Lickitung, and then I should be able to bring my Vigoroth. I'm not in Body Slam range, almost in Power Whip range, so I gotta be careful there. I'm gonna shield this, expecting the Power Whip actually. It is a Body Slam, however. It doesn't really matter though, as long as I have energy. My Vigoroth should win Charge Attack Priority against the Gligar, so in that case, I should have this battle now. Gonna throw these back to back. Even if it were to catch on the Gligar, should be fine, because he has an attack stored there, I believe. And this Body Slam, like he's going down in 1 counter, so whatever he does here, this is game set a match. So GG, Lickitung had nothing to do there. Next battle, I can always expect the Gligar here against Statan. I don't consider this as a great matchup, but I do have a lot of play with Vigoroth. I lead it into the Gligar, and I have a similar plan here. I want to get a shield advantage for my backline. Vigoroth does win the 0 shields here in every scenario, so even if he goes to Dig or Aerial Ace, doesn't really matter. I should win Charge Attack Purity. He throws right before my next Body Slam here. I'm going to call an Aerial Ace, actually. I actually did want to shield a Dig, but whatever. It doesn't really matter, because he would just get to another Dig there. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Body Slam. The unfortunate thing is, it's likely farms me down. So, I'm just gonna say it, however, in case it is Skarmy in the back, I don't wanna, like, lock in my Cresselia just yet. In fact, I'm just gonna let Cresselia take everything. Why not do it with Shield Advantage Skeledirge? If he doesn't have the Lantern, I should be very fine here. I'm gonna try to farm this all the way down. The Gligar should be almost dry now. Can I farm this down? If I can, that would be huge. I'm totally banking that there is a Lickitung in the back, and that is the reason why he is shielded. I want to switch advantage. Unfortunately, get to areas here. This is now turned from pretty good to really bad. I actually fully anticipate the Lickitung come in, and it's Cresselia. I did not see Cresselia come in at all. I guess he is afraid of my Vigoroth here. Gonna swap my Skeledirge, and look at that. It's his own Vigoroth. If I just kept 2 shields for my Skeledirge, I would sweep here easily. I have to call if this is a Rock Slide or Body Slam. I'm actually not thinking Statan would do the baiting game here, so I'm gonna make a misplayer. I know he's too off another Rock Slide here, but I'm afraid that he may live this Incinerate. I don't think he... After looking at it in hindsight, I don't think he would have lived it, and that I may have been able to farm down. So I'm gonna throw immediately. He would have definitely now, but he doesn't, which surprises me. This gives me a little bit more play, because Future Sight doesn't exactly knock me out yet here. I have a decent Skeledirge, even though you might not think so by the 4088 CP. Gonna go for Disarming Voice bait. Does he take this? I say always bait. It doesn't always help. It doesn't always help. He does shield that. Now going into my Cresselia, hoping to get him in Disarming Voice range. I don't think I get to Shadow Ball. If I threw Future Sight, I actually would have had this... if I threw Grass Knot earlier, I actually would have gotten it off. And I barely don't get to my Shadow Ball here. And he wins that battle. I could have played that cleaner, honestly. Really just on me. In the third battle, I'm going to fully bank on countering the Vigoroth here, leading my Cresselia into Skarmy. This is terrible for me. Gonna go into my Skeledirge. He hasn't brought Lantern yet. And there's Lantern. I know this matchup, honestly, is not the worst for Skeledirge if you're a little bit ahead. He goes for the Surf here. I'm really considering shielding this and maybe trying to do some shady stuff with the Incinerate Shadow Balls. Maybe trying to get some shields, but I don't think that helps me. I need to keep shields up for the Skarmy, because Vigoroth doesn't have a great matchup there either. Gonna go for Shadow Ball. I have a Disarming Voice here. This won't knock out just yet. It should do about 25%, I believe, but he ends up shielding it regardless. So, puts me in a shield advantage. If it is Lickitung in the back, I actually should have a great chance here. And I do think at this point that it could be Lickitung, simply because he needs to cover a potential Skeledirge lead with his 2 Pokemon in the back. Could also be very well the Gligar, though. Problem with the Gligar is... it's just so safe, like, why wouldn't he run it? I just don't think it's an ideal swap into a Skeledirge, but prove me wrong. It is Gligar in the back. I have a shield advantage, but it's not going to be great. Because the wing attacks add up, the area A is going to add up, or even a dig. He does shield the first one. He could keep all the shields for Skarmy he wants. I don't think I can win this battle. I'm going to call an area ace here successfully, but it brings me way too low, and it does way too much damage. I'm going to go for a Body Slam on the Charizard Purity here. Does he shield this? Hopefully not. But he does end up shielding that, and it puts me way too low. At this point, I cannot even put in work against Skarmy anymore. So yeah, I have a lot of energy on the Cresselia. I have Future Sight, which hits Skarmy a little bit harder, but at this point, it just looks really impossible. I'm not sure what I could have done team comp-wise there. Just should have played game 2 better, and I wouldn't have been in this scenario in the first place. He's saying, yeah, this might get close still, but he forgets I only have 1 shield rather than 2 shields, so no, I'm gonna try and make it close here, but yeah, I don't get to 3 attacks here. He would even get to, yeah, he would definitely get to 2 Sky Attack before I get to 2 more Future Sight here, so I was gonna troll him a little bit. Just gonna go for double Grass Knots. At this point, we're already shaking hands, but yeah, tough lineup. I think Gligar obviously is rough. I always am weak to 1 Pokemon, or not to say weak, but 1 Pokemon is always gonna be free. That's just the nature of Open Grey League. That's what I faced, and if anything, I would be weak to. I consider Gligar as one of the less threatening ones. So yeah, unfortunately, I lose against that standard. My final matchup is against Gyarados Boy. Yes, I brought... This is actually just a coincidence. I had no idea it was coming, actually. The Gyarados looks incredibly good against him. Has played against Altaria. Altaria is quite a good matchup. I do lose to 0 shields. Superior, actually not that great of a matchup. Also, Swampert is a great matchup. Although Shadow Hydrocan does a lot. And Skarmy and Rescue, I win the 2 shields there. So, I definitely want to bring Gyarados against Gyarados Boy. But yeah, this is not going to be... just a walk in the park here. I do think that I can set up, if I can set up my Gyarados, or have my Gyarados set up my backline correctly, that I should make it quite well here. My Skeledirge also looks very good here, by the way, having played against 5 out of 6 here. I lead my Gyarados into the Altaria. Great. But if it's Swampert in the back, I want alignment. So, I'm gonna play for switch advantage here. You'll see that this is a very neutral matchup. like the Dragon Breaths almost do as much from Altaria. However, I do pace a little bit faster to Crunch, so that helps here. I should barely win the 2 shields here. Get a defense drop, which I actually don't want here. And the reason why is because I want more farm. But that is what it is. In comes Superior, and at that point, I'm very happy with alignment here. But Superior is very bulky, it can take this easily. I was actually expecting him to go for an aerial ace, but he's going for a full farm down. So this is just an Aqua Tail. He does end up shooting that, which is great for me. I'm lagging here. Unfortunately, I have no idea how much energy he got at this point. So I'm going to turn on Wi-Fi. And then I'm going to go into the Skeledirge to take this energy here. This is very fine for me, but again, I have no idea. These air races will add up. He actually stays in, which is interesting. Makes me think, oh, it's probably going to be like Registeel or Scarmy in the back. I still expect Swampert, honestly, which could be obnoxious if he's a shield up. However, I should have so much energy here, like even if it's a Swampert, I just throw Shadow Ball, then take it out with Cresselia. So, but he has Scarmy in the back. My Cresselia in the back did not have a lot to do there. Skeledirge in the back, however, was golden. Again, no Lantern, Skeledirge plus Gyarados core, good. Very good. Going for this Army Voice to threaten the last shield thrower just to knock out. He does give up though, so that's game over. And I win the first game there, despite a little bit of an iffy start with the Gyarados at the end. In the second battle, I'm going to bank on my Skeledirge Gyarados score again, like what can go wrong with it. Gonna go into Skeledirge lead, but I lead into Swampert, which is terrible. And I will swap into the Gyarados immediately. If he swaps into Registeel now, my Lickitung in the back should be free, so I think whatever I swap into, or whatever swaps into my Gyarados, I should be fine. He swaps in the Superior though. Not exactly what I anticipated. He ends up shielding the first attack. If he didn't shield that, I could farm this down. So good shield by him. But I just do the same thing that I did with Tando before. I farm this down entirely with Skeledirge. Arrow Ace does nothing. Frenzy Plant does nothing. So now I have a lot of energy for that Shadow Swampert. I like Shadow Swampert a lot as a closer. But here's the thing with fragile Pokemon. Your polarizing matchup, your RPS matchups become way less good. Because energy threatens you so bad here. Shadow Ball will do so much on the Swampert. Look at this. One more Incinerate and he's down. He doesn't even get to a Hydro Cannon here. So at this point, it's definitely over. It actually is Registeel in the back, so he would have RPS'd me entirely, but Skeledirge energy is just way too good here, and you'll see that this core of Skeledirge Gyarados, again, is just so freaking good. He does throw a charge stack, and that is game over. I win 2-0 here. We have one final battle. I let him use Gyarados as well instead of Altaria this time. So he's gonna have a Gyarados, I'm gonna have a Gyarados. We both know that's coming out. So him having Gyarados actually leads me to not bring Skeledirge this time. I'm gonna bank it on my Vigoroth here, which does have a better matchup against opposing Gyarados. So Body Slam coming through. This is somewhat of a neutral matchup, but Superior Frenzy Plant just hits so hard. So not too comfortable with that. Let's see what I do here. I think I kept all the shields for the Gyarados here. Oh, he actually swaps into Gligar, which is tough. I wonder why I didn't use Gligar before even, because it has a pretty good matchup against Gyarados as well, as long as shields are up. The Body Slam is neutral. It's not very effective. It's the counters. But the text is still hanging there. Gonna swap in my Lickitung just to soak up energy. I know it has to be Gyarados in the back, you know, because I let Gyarados Boy use Gyarados. So my Lickitung with energy is gonna be very threatening. Gonna throw right before the next dig here. He does end up no-shielding that. And then in comes the Superior again, which is actually annoying. But luckily, he doesn't throw his attack before I get to Body Slam. And that's actually great, because now he ends up shielding, and I have a shield advantage for my Gyarados. Do I shield this? Problem is, I'm afraid that if I no-shield this, the Violence plus Dragon Breath will take me out with all my shields still being there. So that's kind of rough on my end here. Gonna go into the Gyarados to farm down this Superior. And then I should have an energy lead on his Gyarados, but man, he is using a regular Gyarados, fortunately, which means that the Dragon Breaths don't do as much damage. I'm faking a Crunch here. It's only Aqua, though he does end up no-shooting. But look at how much damage that does anyway. Crazy. He's gonna go for an Crunch, actually, to get a debuff, potentially. Doesn't get it, fortunately. Gonna try and catch on my Vigoroth, but doesn't really matter. I count it down either way. And then I have a Body Slam. I have an Aqua Tail. I should win this battle, no matter what. So, yeah. GG's Gyarados Boy. That was fun. So yeah, I think that was a really good showcase of the Gyarados Skeledirge core. I think it's one of the best that I've played with so far. I've tried it against other opponents as well. You just gotta cover land a little bit, or, you know, hope they don't have it. And probably helps to cover Gligar as well a little bit. I got second place in this challenge behind Tando, who first lost to me. Then he got a bye, and then he beat Statan. So that puts me at 659 championship points, which is great for me. It puts me on track for the Travel Award still. However, since I will be casting the EUIC, I will not get any points from that. I would like to see a European win the EUIC, but the Americans eliminate my competition, so I'm probably the most unbiased caster to be at the EUIC. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one or at the EUIC. Have a good one.